Why do so many of us hit our 60s and suddenly feel like our own bodies are betraying us? Seriously, I woke up one morning not too long ago, tried to get out of bed, and my legs just felt like absolute jelly. It honestly scared the living daylights out of me. I remember thinking, is this it? Is this the inevitable downhill slide? But what if I told you there is a hidden, surprisingly simple morning routine straight out of Japan that totally rebuilt my strength from the ground up? In today's explainer, I'm going to share my own personal journey of discovering these exact secrets. We'll uncover how to turn back the clock without a crazy gym membership. But first, we really need to look at what's actually going on under the hood.
So why do so many guys over 60 just accept frailness as inevitable? It is incredibly frustrating to feel your physical edge slipping away, right? You go to push a heavy door or carry some groceries and it's just harder. We've been sold this total lie that getting older automatically means getting weaker. But here's the kicker. The answer absolutely isn't hitting the gym and trying to bench press like a 20-year-old gym bro. The real fix is something entirely different, kind of kept a total secret from most of the Western world. And honestly, discovering it completely changed my life.
Now, what's really terrifying is this specific number right here, 8%. Clinical facts show that on average, seniors can lose up to 8% of their muscle mass every single year after crossing the age of 60. That is a creeping muscle crisis we call sarcopenia. When I first read that, it was a massive wake-up call. I realized my jelly legs weren't just me having a bad morning, it was my muscles literally wasting away year by year. It's a pretty harsh reality check for us. But check this out. Let's pivot to some massive hope here. 45%. A mind-blowing 2024 study from the University of Tokyo and Harvard Medical School found that seniors actually increased their muscle mass by 45% in just 30 days. And the craziest part, they did it without lifting heavy weights or grinding away at the local gym. When I saw that data, I knew I had to figure out exactly what they were doing. I mean, giving nearly half your muscle back in a month? No way. That's just insane. Section 1. Japan's Longevity Secret Revealed. The science of rewriting your biological age. You see, my sheer desperation to not end up stuck in a recliner all day led me to study Japanese centenarians. You know, those folks living way past 100 in places like Okinawa. I discovered that their insane vitality doesn't just come from eating fish and veggies. It comes from specific, purposeful daily movement rituals. I realized their secret wasn't the 10,000 steps myth we always hear about here in the States. For years, doctors told me to just walk. But everyday walking is strictly cardio. It completely fails to tear and rebuild muscle tissue. To grow muscle at our age, you gotta force adaptation. You have to stress the muscle just enough so it repairs itself stronger. The Japanese methods we're about to cover do exactly that, while regular walking kind of just keeps you on a treadmill going nowhere when it comes to actual strength.
Exercise 1. Japanese interval walking.
This is the first thing that totally shifted my routine. It's a brilliant technique that takes half the time of your regular, boring neighborhood stroll, but it actively triggers muscle protein synthesis. It's not about how far you go, it's about how you go. Here is the exact minimalist breakdown. Step 1, you start with a 5-minute easy warm-up. Just get the blood flowing. Step 2, this is where the magic happens. 3 minutes of brisk, purposeful walking, like you're running late for a bus, really pumping those arms. Step 3, you drop back down to 3 minutes of slow, comfortable recovery. By alternating these 3-minute fast and slow intervals, you are pushing your leg muscles to 70 to 80% of their maximum capacity during those fast bursts. That's the exact sweet spot that tells your body, hey, we need to build more muscle here. The numbers absolutely do not lie. If you do this interval walking for just 20 minutes a day, 4 days a week, the results are massive. Folks just doing regular walking saw a measly 2% increase in thigh muscle strength. But the interval walkers, a whopping 13% increase. Plus, it leads to a 30% reduction in fall risk. Getting that strength back in my thighs was a literal game changer for me. Suddenly, climbing stairs wasn't my worst enemy anymore. But you might be wondering, why focus so much on the legs? Well, here is the second major problem we face. Sarcopenia doesn't attack our bodies evenly. It hits the lower body the absolute hardest. By the time you hit 70, you could lose up to 40% of your leg muscle if you do absolutely nothing. That is exactly what I was feeling when my legs felt like jelly. We desperately need a movement that rebuilds us from the ground up. Exercise 2, Reijo, or slow sit-to-stand training. Now, Reijo actually has its roots in ancient samurai etiquette. It's this incredibly controlled, respectful bowing and sitting movement. But modern Japanese researchers turned it into a clinical muscle builder. Here's how you do it. And trust me on this, it is a lot tougher than it sounds. Step 1, sit in a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor. Step 2, take a full 5 to 7 seconds to rise slowly. I'm talking super slow motion here. Step 3, take another 5 to 7 seconds to lower yourself back down. Whatever you do, do not just drop into the chair. This grueling but incredibly safe motion forces the muscle to adapt and grow. You're keeping your muscles under constant tension without ever touching a barbell. When I first started doing these, my legs were physically shaking, but man, they got strong fast. And I want to ground my personal story in some hardcore science for you here. Looking right at the clinical data, researchers at Tohoku University found that doing this exact 5-minute Riho routine increased knee extension strength by a massive 25.9% in just 3 months. Compare that to the control group, who barely saw a 2.5% bump. This is concrete proof that you can combat sarcopenia and rebuild severe muscle loss safely and effectively right in your very own living room. So what's the big takeaway for us? This is the ultimate home-based physique transformation blueprint for guys our age. It's completely safe on sensitive joints. There's no expensive gym equipment required, literally just a sturdy chair and a sidewalk. It rebuilds your deep core stabilizers, and it delivers a 40% reduction in your risk of falling. You're not just adding muscle here, you're bulletproofing your body against the most common dangers of aging. You are quite literally taking your independence back. I really want you to let this quote sink in for a second. The body never forgets how to rebuild. It only waits for the right signal. That is such a powerful reminder. Whether you are 60, 70, or beyond, your muscles haven't just given up on you. They are simply waiting for you to tell them to grow. And these specific Japanese movement signals, the interval walking and the slow sit to stand, those are exactly the instructions your body is craving right now. Which leaves us with one final, very important question to close things out. Will you continue treating aging as an inevitable decline, or will you use these 2 habits to rebuild your strength tomorrow morning? The ball is totally in your court. Staying independent, staying strong, and feeling great is entirely in your hands. So grab a chair, set your timer, and start sending your body the right signals. Thanks for tuning in to This Explainer. Stay strong out there, and I'll catch you on the next one.